Okay, looks like we are ready to go there, everybody. So, welcome to another 2 p.m. PST Twitch stream. I'm your host, Strange for Jim, and today we're going to be getting back into some Pega to start off with. Then I'll be doing, once again, some video uploads and publishing, all that kind of jazz. Eventually, I'll get to a point where I'll start, editing videos. Um, but in the meantime, I really need to kind of catch up on my backlog of everything. um, and then we got Troy later on tonight. We'll see if we're going to be joining um, Blackheart, but I fear I can just go ahead and just like maybe just create a brand new game in the meantime while we wait. So yeah, that's where we're going to. That's what the plan is for today. So I want to thank everybody for joining me on that. But so let's go ahead and get into Pega directly here. Obviously, seeing that you are watching this video, if you're watching this on YouTube or on my YouTube videos, and there you go. You're always welcome to catch me live on stream. Um, but so, uh, so what's going on with Pega? So I'm trying to get my certification in Pega. So obviously there's going to be um, a lot of learning curve for me to work on that. This is not endorsed by Pega whatsoever. I'm not getting any like special treatment or anything along those lines from Pega, so don't think that that's something that's happening. Um, and while I might have some communications with like one of their members in terms of like them saying, "Hey, thanks for the feedback on, certain content." Um, that's about it. That's about as far as it goes. So don't think that I'm like, talking about their CEO or anything along those lines. Okay, just don't don't bother with that kind of thought line, because it's not there. Um, Another thing, um, don't consider this instructor-led training or that I'm an authorized trainer, to train you in Pega. Okay, I'm working on my certification much like anybody else that might be watching these videos for, trying to get your own, um, system architect certification. Okay. Um, I'm doing it uh, mainly to kind of um, get through the topics, hopefully learn as much as I can through them, um, and kind of speak my confusion about some of the topics, and maybe even ask Pega, hey, maybe reword this a little bit. But for the most part, um, I'm pretty much on my own when it comes to this particular video series. Now, um, if you are a Pega veteran, if you know Pega a lot, if you know, um, if you work for Pega, or if you're an actual trainer, then I welcome you to go through my videos and answer some of my questions that I pose, because there's going to be a few of them. Now, some of them I tend to answer like after the fact, maybe. Um, but more often than not, if I have a question at that particular moment in time, I don't really find a good answer for it. Um, so, um, maybe it's the way phrase their particular topic or whatever. I'm not sure. Um, I don't know if I'm like the only person having this kind of trouble trying to understand some of the topics that they have on the Academy. I mean, a lot of them I pick up on fairly well, but I mean, there's other topics that I'm like, what are they trying to go for here? Or, there are times where like, wait, um, didn't you just counter your previous statement? That kind of thing. Um, so obviously there's going to be times where I myself am going to be confused about, a particular topic, a particular challenge, so on and so forth. So I welcome anybody to join me either live or in the comment section, to address any kind of questions or concerns or anything along those lines. So just putting that out there, okay? So what am I doing? So I'm working towards getting the system architect certification. Okay. Along the way, seeing that we are doing two missions that are the exact same, we are also pretty much covering the business architect certification as well. Now, there are two modules here, as you can see. Now, these two modules are not a part of the system architect. Okay, they're their own separate modules associated with business architect, and that's it. Okay, much like the 26 modules here are not part of the business architect. Okay, so when we get done with these two missions here, I'm going to go do the two modules here. So if anybody is watching me for the business architect, they can, take the information that I've done so far and, you know, hope that they can get their certification in the business architect. Otherwise, they're going to need to continue along with me as I continue on with the system architect. So, um, I've heard that the senior system architect would be extremely useful for the system architect, and we might do that because um, my my previous attempt on doing a system architect just by studying a system architect did not really work out very well. Um, I the uh, they have a certain level for their certification, and I got 6 questions wrong below that a minimum. So I was not prepared. But then again, I was pretty much kind of forced to do it too. Um, but I knew that I wasn't ready, but it is what it is. So um, we're going to try to do this again, and we're going to try to be ready this time around. Okay. And we're going to try to, have everything locked, or at least one would hope, right? So, okay. So let's go ahead and get into the mission. Well, I mean, there's system architect, but we're currently in the low code app builder extended mission right now. Pardon me, I need to blow my nose. Be right back. All right. So, where did we leave off from yesterday? Let's see. Okay, we did the validating data against business logic. So we're on to the challenge. So let's go ahead and take care of that. I'll go ahead and wake up a new instance there. Okay, so customers with standard coverage use a credit card to pay for services performed by a service provider. To ensure that credit card transactions are processed correctly, stakeholders have identified that the expiration date must be in the future. Expired cards are rejected, and the process cannot continue until the user provides a valid expiration date. Okay, so that's weird. So first thing that I want to mention is that there is a challenge walkthrough here. I hardly ever use it. I mean, unless there's something that I'm not fully understanding in the steps that I need to, um, and I might need a little bit of help to try to understand what they're trying to go for. Then I'll use the challenge walkthrough. But more often than not, um, the detailed tasks are enough to handle what you're looking for the most part. So um, you're welcome to use the challenge walkthrough yourself if you need it, but um, one would hope that the detailed test is enough to give you everything that you need in order to complete the work that you're looking for. So, um, so yeah, we're just gonna wait the few minutes for the instance to wake up, and then we will go ahead and get into the detailed tasks. Now, if everything goes smoothly and quickly, then we may be able to go on to the next topic. But for right now, our main focus is the challenge. Now, there might be some like additional things that I might do um, or talk about. So I can't guarantee that I'm going to go on to the next topic, but just wanted to kind of give you all a heads up on that. So, okay. I just gotta wait for this to wake up on me. Okay. Yeah, this is all about, validations and confirmations are at the moment. So, um, we're going to be doing the, show errors and confirmations. So, mm, um, normally initialization kind of happens by now. I'm just going to go ahead and reset the cloud instance here. Because normally I just see this until the instance is actually ready, and then it, pops up the buttons in question. So I was thinking that maybe, the two buttons there were just kind of giving me a little bit of a hard time, and that, they weren't wanting to kind of switch on over. I could be completely wrong. I don't know, but um, we'll just do that and wait for the reset. Um, We are getting closer to the end of this mission. I think I counted like 16 more modules and challenges to get through to get to the end of this particular mission. So we're getting close. Um, we'll see how much I can. Normally, it takes me like an hour or so of like discussions and the like to kind of get through each of them. So potentially 16 more hours for that. But um, but you never know. I mean, it depends on the topic. I mean, might be able to kind of get through, a topic, the module quiz, and the challenge afterwards. It's happened before. Doesn't mean that it can't happen again. So, it all depends on the topic. It could be a fairly easy, descriptive, um, very easy to comprehend style topic, um, versus something that feels like it's a couple pages in length and um, has very nuanced subject material as well. So, those obviously take longer. So, okay. It's the same password, so I'm not even bothering with the copying. Probably could. I had plenty of time to copy, but I can also try to do the whole, hey, I'm gonna save this username and password. Well, problem is that if the username or the password changes at any point, during these challenges, then well, that makes that causes a little bit of a problem. So so don't get comfortable with the username and password in these particular in the academy lessons. In some cases, don't be comfortable with your own username and password. Because you should be at least changing the password often. And no, I'm not talking about changing the password to 12345 or something along those lines. Have it be a little bit more in depth, challenging. Okay. Um, so in the navigation pane in App Studio, click case types, assistance request to open an assistance request case type. Click the enter payment information step. So that's what we're looking for. Enter payment information. Just kind of wait for this to load. Okay. Loading, 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 loading. Okay. Enter payment information. That's the one that we're looking for there. So in the contextual properties pane on the right, click Configure View. In the Enter Payment Information view, click the Validation tab to add the validation condition to the step. So we're doing Configure View, and that will bring up the window for um, modifying all the fields and so on and so forth. And we're going to click on Validations here. Now I'm hoping that you all can see that. You can, so that's good. I have to be a little careful seeing that the window, this particular like window capture doesn't pick up like all the pop-up windows. So I have to be a little careful about that now, seeing that I realize that y'all can't see that. So okay. In the validation fields based on these conditions section, click Add Condition to make the condition entry fields available. So validate fields based on these conditions section. Click Add Condition to make the condition entry fields available. I mean, technically it's not in this particular section because it's kind of under the no validation conditions present. But I mean, it does show add condition there, so we'll just let it go. Okay. Um, it's not completely correct, but I mean, anybody should be able to see the add condition there and be able to add, the new, validation. So, okay. In the message field, enter expiration date is not valid, as the message to display if the user enters an invalid expiration date. So here in the message, there we go. Expiration date is not valid. Okay. In the select list, select fields, payment information, expiration date. So in the select list, okay, let's see. Okay, you can see that. Fields, what was it? Fields, payment information, expiration date. Payment information, expiration date. Oh wait, did you all see that? Hold on, let me do that again. Um, okay, you can see that. Can't really see my mouse right at the moment, but information, payment information, you can still see that. Yep, okay. And expiration date. There we go. Okay. I wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure. Okay. Um in the comparator list, select is before. So is not, this one doesn't work. We want is before. And then on the right, click the gear icon to open the Select Values dialog box to define additional options for the condition. Now, it's already bringing up um, a calendar here that you can just kind of select a date, for example, right? But that doesn't necessarily work very much because um, if you're programming this out, okay, and I say, hey, I want that to be the date, right? Well, um, what happens if they pick, like, say tomorrow, but it's like months down the line. I mean, it technically will still be, you know, it won't cause the error because it will be after, today's date. Um, but it will still be expired because you're a couple months down the road, right? Uh, like right now it's May, right? So maybe you're doing this in October and you're putting down a May 30th date, and it's like, wait, no, that's incorrect. That's still an expired card. So that's why they want you to go to the gear window here, select what was it, time period? Okay, in the select values dialog box and the type list, select time period, right, to match the fields as shown in the following image. So we want time period, day, and then today, and then we click select or submit. So time period. Oh, can you all see that? Yep, time period, day, and then today. Oop, time period. Let me move this over so I can kind of see. Okay, so it's not showing this particular drop down right at this moment in time, which is kind of unfortunate. So, like right here is calendar year, for example. So, calendar quarter, calendar month, calendar week, day, exact date, and custom days. So it's not showing that, which is kind of unfortunate. What about this box? No, even this box isn't showing all the values in there. Same with the time period there. Well, that's kind of unfortunate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this over to like the full screen, so everybody can kind of see what's going on. And so yeah, so let me do that. So full screen. There we go. And now you should be able to see, the box here. So, and what's available on these drop downs. I don't know why the window isn't picking them up, but oh well. So this is what we need to select to select, to submit, and it will show, it's before today. So today will constantly be updated. Okay, it will look, you know, today is, a reference to the current date. Okay. Now, you can try to, you know, manipulate it a little bit in the sense of maybe you change the computer that's in charge of its application. Maybe you're changing the date on the server to try to manipulate today. But obviously, that's a lot of work just to try to get past the expiration date. So just saying. I mean, you might have some hackers that want to do that. It's perfectly fine. It's reasonable. It's understandable. But at the same time, it's like, do they really want to go through all that just for passing the expiration date? They might. So you might have to, consider, um, safeguarding, your code. So just saying. Be prepared for any kind of manipulation and the like. So, alright, so that should be good there. Let me go ahead and switch this back over to main screen here. Okay, so now in the select values dialog box, click submit. In the enter payment information view, click submit. So, uh, or here, so we click submit, and everything should be set up within the assistance request lifecycle or case lifecycle. So next, we're going to be going on to confirm the work. So in the assistance request case, click Save and Run. Advance the case to the Enter Payment Information step. And in the expiration date field, enter a date in the past. So we're going to Save and Run. Waiting for this to load. There we go. And now we're going to go to the payment information step. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip these because they're not really necessary for the test. Um, okay. Had a little bit of problem there. That shouldn't have happened. We didn't even get to the payment step at all. Okay. That was interesting. There it goes. I don't know what happened on that first one. It somehow was like, yeah, we don't have any problems. We're just going to go ahead and, select what we want, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select, an expiration date for, the first of, you know, back in January 1st, you know, which was definitely in the past. So expiration date is not valid. Now let's see. Make sure that this is correct here. Had a little bit of an interesting time trying to get to the information enter payment information step. Now, if I was like completely concerned about this, I'd be looking as to, what exactly happened to cause that little glitch, and see, um, was it something that I myself did, or is it something that the system did in some fashion or another that just kind of bypassed the payment information? Um, so um, Verify that the application prevents the case type from advancing and displays the expiration date is not valid error. The error message ID may be displaying instead of the error message. So in the payment information expiration date field, enter a date in the future, click submit, and confirm the case advances to the next stage. Um, so we're going to go ahead and pick the next year there, click submit, and we made it to the next stage. So everything looks good. So we verified the challenge, and everything should work out perfectly fine. Everything should work perfectly fine. There we go. I was about to say. It's like there's not much here, guys. Okay. Um, Now one thing that I want to try is I want to go back and do, run that again because I have a funny feeling, like, hey, we have a flat tire, right? So we have Jim Mitchell coverage level gold, right? What about H. Thomas coverage level standard? Now, here's where I'm kind of wondering about. If I was to go back to Jim Mitchell for the gold coverage level, maybe the gold coverage level says, hey, you're covered. We give you some, we already give you some free benefits. So you don't need to add your payment information because we got you covered already. That's one of the, you know, things that we do free of charge. That could be the thing, right? So let me go ahead and just kind of put in some extra information here, just to make sure that we're all kind of on the up and up. It doesn't like go, oh my God, what are you doing? You know, so if I hit create, one would think that would go to the payment information. Let's see. It did not. So it could be that the gold standard, this gold coverage level, pays for the flat tire automatically. I'm not sure. But I will probably want to send this to, um, suggest an edit because um, it appears that the gold standard might be bypassing the payment information. So uh, just tried testing out the process to make sure that everything worked right. First try and payment window did not show. Second try, I switched the user and I got the payment window. So I'm wondering, does Jane Mitchell's gold standard auto pays a flat tire? Hence, no need for the payment window. If that is indeed the case, then you may need to add a note about selecting the right user to get the payment window. Alright. So we're all done there, and there's less than 10 minutes left. So most likely we'll not be able to get uh, complete the next topic, exploring application data with insights. We got one topic there, and then the module quiz. I'm probably going to be needing a lot of time to kind of cover everything here. As you can see, there's a lot of additional bubbles to kind of go through. So this might take a full session just by itself. Um, so we're not going to be able to cover that, but oh well. We'll cover that again tomorrow. So hopefully you'll join me tomorrow in continuing the um, Pega development, Pega studying for the certification. Hopefully you'll join me at that point. But um, that's where we're going to go ahead and end it at this time. As a finishing note, I want to. Today is Memorial Day, so I want to give a shout out to all the veterans, um, past, present, and future. Thank you for your service. Um, my father himself was also in the military, um, so I'm an Army brat myself. Never really had the desire to go into the military myself, so I saw kind of what it did to my dad, and I really didn't want to join in that. Um, my family felt that the military really didn't. We felt that it might have been able to do more for my dad after his accident, but um, they pretty much like did the. Well, I mean, he was in the VA hospital, to treat his broken back, but after that, it was pretty much okay. You're out. Honorable discharge by medical, and that was it. I don't. We've kind of felt that he was kind of pretty much shafted. So so that's the reason why I don't get me wrong. I appreciate everybody that does go into the service. I'm thankful that you want to, um, you know, in some cases, put your life on the line to, um, you know, to keep, you know, um, enemies from harming us, and some have made the ultimate sacrifice. Um, and I don't want to belittle that at all. Okay, so um, I'm always thankful for our veterans for what they've done. Minus those that do some very ugly things. Um, you know, outright killing civilians. That's not good. Um, you know, you should know the difference of right and wrong. Not much, you know. If you keep with your right and wrong, have a still have that strong moral sense, and you protect us, then great. So I'm just talking about, some times where the military has done some very questionable and unmoral um, things in the past, you know. So, um, so please, if you're in the military or watching this, um, I want to thank you, but also don't make those mistakes either, you know. Uh, you know, for example, just as an example, I'm not saying that we're doing this constantly. I'm just saying, you know, in the past, okay, there was one time in American Army, history, um, a particular cavalry, I don't know his rank. He took his entire command and he went into an Indian village and murdered all the women, children, and elderly there. So, and that is horrific. I don't condone that at all. So know the difference, between what's right and what's wrong. So, try to aim for peace. you know, um, some of the wisest generals know that, you know, try to avoid war as much as you can, but at the same time be prepared for it, you know. So, those are the generals, those are the commanders that I will respect, fully. So, okay. Um, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and switch on over to some video uploads. Um, so obviously, I'm not necessarily going to be showing too much. You're just going to be seeing my beautiful mug, of course. um, while I try to, um, get some more videos scheduled so that we can, um, so that I can catch up on everything um, that's just kind of sitting in my hard drives. So, matter of fact, where is how much storage space do I still have? Okay, still got plenty. I gotta check it from time to time because if I get too many videos stored on my hard drive, it'll stop the recording and it's cause a whole bunch of problems. Okay, right, almost forgot. Um, that's the end of this Pega video. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Do everything. Do the whole YouTube thing. Um, help this YouTube creator out in whatever you feel is justified. You know, there's a lot of things that the viewer can do. So I appreciate you doing that. So thank you very much, and I'm stopping the video.